Meet Chad Ledger, Harvard MBA, Master of Discounted Cash Flows. Chad knows all about Bitcoin, and he's happy to inform you that it's nothing more than digital beanie babies. You see, Bitcoin doesn't generate yield, and it has no intrinsic value. You can't do anything with it. His spreadsheet model predicts it will crash to zero any day now. Chad has opinions. You have Bitcoin. Stay humble, stack sats.
We all have a Chad. We all know a Chad. I know a ton of Chads. It's almost like they enjoy, when I get around them, they enjoy seeing me to just talk about how shitty Bitcoin is. It's unbelievable. And they bring up the same rhetoric. The reason why it took so long is that for some reason, Rumble, which I don't even know why I stream on Rumble. I mean, I think it's awkward. I can't remember this thing. There's one guy on Rumble who set up the stream for Rumble. It's so crazy. I always want to reach out to whatever his name is, the guy on Rumble. I'm like, unless you're like Dan Bongino or something like that, Rumble is, you might as well be starting on Kick or Twitch or whatever. It's heartbreaking. I have a Twitch stream that this goes live to Twitch all the time. But I don't even know what the hell goes on Twitch anyway, so it's not really important. Even last night, I was in the good old steam room at the squash club talking to people about Bitcoin, and I just wanted to get it off my chest to people that I play squash with. It's like before we have the end of this parabolic bull run, I just want to be on the record that I told you to get some exposure to Bitcoin, because I don't want this thing to go to the moon and then you come back to me and say, why didn't you tell me? Yeah, you're making all these stupid videos and you never even told me to buy Bitcoin. Yes, I did. I told everyone I play with now for the next little while. Although it's kind of an interesting timing to tell people to buy Bitcoin now, because traditionally we have this pullback in September, right? It's not really anything to be surprised about. We generally in the bull run year, 2017, 2021, 2025, we'll have a pretty decent summer, historically speaking, and then the pullback in September. Now, I don't think anyone can handle the pullback, because we've really had a bizarre bull run when you think about it. We haven't had the usual. I was talking to a friend of mine, because he did get into Bitcoin, and when it backs up 10%, losing their minds, right? Losing their minds, phoning me. It's a weird human thing. Price goes down, they lose their minds, they phone me and ask if they should sell it. I just don't get it. I don't understand that concept, and I get it. We're all new to something at some point. We're all the noob somewhere, the little deer that just got, plopped out of the mom and with the placenta everywhere and can barely stand up. Oh, Bitcoin, what's Bitcoin? I get it. But it's an interesting thing that's built into the human psyche. Price goes down, sell it. And they got to talk them off the ledge. Imagine if these people had to endure the 30%. Or last year for the 50%. Like, for sure, if we had a 50% pullback, how many people would be out forever? That would be it. They would be out and they would never come back. And it would be done. But we've been almost coddled through this one. 10%. Is that okay? Is it? I don't want to. Just 10%. We got to pull back. We got to work some numbers here, liquidate some stuff here. 10%, is that okay? No, it's too much. And I know we had a 30% pullback, but still, it's been, you gotta admit, it's been a wacky bull run. There's a lot of bizarre things that have occurred that wasn't on the old bull run bingo card. Did we get here? Did we fulfill this? No. How far did we get from fulfilling this epic cup and handle? It shows that I'm on Rumble, but I'd never know, because nobody's on. Nobody actually watches the Rumble stream. I'm just trying to. They get you on this hamster wheel. You got this many hours, and then you can apply for this, and then after that you can apply for that. Go F yourself. We got how far away from this one? let's go wick. Wick to top, 2.5%. Not bad. We came close. Then we got a massive rejection from our last local top. We kind of wicked up to her. We didn't close. However, we did put a couple candle. This is the 4-hour chart. So again, who cares about the 4-hour chart? It's just a noisy little so-and-so. We should almost put in a channel of ascension here. I think I'm going to. We'll start it here. Maybe go like that. And then like that. Yeah. So there's our new channel of ascension. Where can we go today? Well, we would like to break out of it at 120.8. It seems like this 120 is a little bit of a thorn in our side. We're at 125. Another, a weird thing about this bull run too is the enormous amount of money coming in. So there's two things that are going to happen. Here are the two things that are going to happen in this bull run. We are either, and I know nobody likes to hear this, we're either coiling up like we've never seen. Remember the thing that everyone talked about in 2021 was the beach ball analogy? Well, Bitcoin price action, it's like a beach ball, and you're holding it under the water. And, you can only hold it under the water for so long. And then you make one wrong move and the water just pops up and the price goes. Remember, everyone was talking about that in 2021. That wasn't the sailor voice. That was the, I don't know whose voice that was. It's kind of like the nerdy worker, the nerdy buddy who's trying to tell you about something. Anyway, that concept, the coiling, beach ball under the water. Oh, that's Mingo's voice. Yeah, whenever I talk to my cat Mingo, I talk to him in that voice. Because it's funny, if you have a pet, I'm not sure, a little tangent here, but if you have a pet, there's something that it does. You know how what's that term with the cat saliva that makes you crazy or something like that? I know I went from 0 to 100 pretty fast here, but there's something about cat saliva that if it gets in you, it turns you crazy. Well, I believe it turns me into like a dual personality. Like I end up talking like Mango. I look at him and I'll say, Mango. Anyway, if you have pets, you kind of understand what this means. Yeah, it's some sort of parasite. Have I ever talked about the frequency healer that I go to? That would be Sammy Davis Jr. voice. Yeah. We'll do one. Toxoplasmosis. That's what it is. Yes. So anyway, one of two things can happen in this bull run. The coiling and the beach ball is so unbelievable that when the powers that be release the hounds, we will see a price explosion like we've never seen. Now, it's hard to, because it's been a boring bull run. Like instead of going like this, it's kind of just going like that, right? We'll take it. It's better than going like that. But because we haven't seen explosive price action, because the law of large numbers are in effect, back when we're at 40 to go to 55, 15,000, that's a huge run up, right? Everyone's excited. Views are up. Everyone, Bitcoin's going to the moon. But when we're up here, moving the price gets a lot harder to do. But with the billions of dollars coming in to Bitcoin, the billions, it's almost like I almost want to like 1950s faint every time I see it. With all the money coming in, we'll either see a massive explosion or we will, and I don't want this to happen, we will fully understand and recognize that this Bitcoin ecosystem has been captured, right? We don't want that, but we'll have to accept it at some point. I mean, we'll have to accept that the most amount of money that ever went into any asset in the whole world has not moved the price. I mean, what does that say? I mean, we can massage it into a million different things. So I'm hoping for the first. I would like the powers that be to go, are you good? Hey, Trump, are you good? Yeah. Hey, nation state, are you good? Michael Saylor. Oh, we know Michael Saylor's good. All you other zombie companies, are you guys good now? Is the American government good? You got what you need? Yeah. Uh-huh. All right. Release the hounds. And then the price goes up. Carl, that's Carl, right? Honey Badger? Pianomattyb, I've been looking into frequency lately. What's the healer do? Give you the right frequency to help heal the body? Yeah, it's more like harmonizing the. So, for instance, let's say you have toxoplasmosis from talking to your cat. It has a frequency, and so these machines, it stems from Royal Rife, Raymond Royal Rife. Remember, he's one of those guys that allegedly it could cure cancer with frequencies and vibrations. And of course, he mysteriously dies. They all mysteriously die. And so if the toxoplasmosis has a frequency of 6,874 hertz, it's like a glass of crystal. Remember when you remember that you see those videos with the glass and the opera singer, oh, psh, and it would break. Well, that's what it is. So it just harmonizes the frequency and makes it null and void. So it also, if you can ever go to one of these things, that the best thing, I guess, that it can do, besides helping whatever may be ailing you, aka parasites, it'll give you a nice readout of everything that's wrong with you, because it collects the frequencies that it records, right? So I know it probably sounds bizarre, but you'll just sit there and it'll do this scan, and it'll tell you all the parasites. Which parasites? E-Money, the Y-Files had the frequency guy story. Yeah, I think I saw it, but it was more like all medical mysteries, right? And he kind of debunks it. The one thing I'd like Y-Files to start doing is to not debunk it. Let us wonder there. What's his name? Can't remember. Not Hecklefish, but the guy. Let us wonder, instead of ruining, because it's like, I know as soon as he starts going the other way, I'm like, I'm out of this video. I don't want to know. I'd rather believe all the crazy shit. When it comes to YouTubers, though, I've been finding an interesting aspect of it. Like, so I'm now under the full understanding. Terry Curl, Toxoplasma gondii causes problems with humans who come into contact with cat feces, not the saliva. Oh, you can't eat cat poop anymore? It can also affect people who consume undercooked meat or drink contaminated water. Yeah, good to know. The internet always has been, always will be, and was created for and to be the world's most unbelievable honeypot. So it's been changing things, the way I behave with the internet. Knowing that, let's just just suspend your disbelief or whatever. It was created to spy on everyone forever. So every keystroke you've ever made, everything you've ever searched, what you have on your computer, the links to everything, it's right there. It's always been there. And so now I find that the characters, like, haven't you ever wondered where these influencers come out of nowhere? It's just, it's a perfect hype machine. Like we see the Nick Fuentes stuff going. And so they're moving us into a new organic type of model, where instead of, the boomers watching This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. You know, those days are over. They know that no one cares about mainstream media. So they've almost invented these, you know, organic, normal guys. So when I say normal guy, I think of Theo Vaughn. I'm like, how the hell is this guy's podcast? How the hell is this guy interviewing Trump? How the hell is this guy from nowhere? But he's an everyman, normal guy, just trying to figure stuff out. You know, like what's going on with this CIA stuff? What Tucker Carlson? He doesn't know anything, right? And even Tucker Carlson, who I can't look at him anymore. I can't. Will I watch his videos? Yes, but it's now I'm watching them to the way I used to watch the news. So when I would watch the news, like Duke always calls me out on it. He's like, Dad, you used to watch the news. I'm like, yeah. And this is the answer. Yeah, Duke, I did. But I was watching to see what they were lying about, right? So whatever they're saying, I just do the opposite. And that's why I would watch the news. Now I never do it. It was back in the COVID days. You know, when they would give you the death toll, contagion toll, right? It was just this fear factory, amping up every day. Oh, they're going to release the numbers in 1 hour. How many people have been infected? It's crazy. So it was a crazy time. And so, yeah, with Tucker Carlson, whenever I hear that these people have connections to CIA, I'm just waiting for the Theo Vaughn connection. You know, like there's an Andrew Tate's dad, CIA. You go to Joe Rogan, who's the young Jamie's dad, CIA. Tucker Carlson, obviously, his dad, CIA. So there's still this apparatus of Project Mockingbird. I just think they're all just mockingbirds, right? And then they get, you know, the ones that aren't being flown to Israel and being, you know, taken through that propaganda machine. The ones that don't are kind of like the opposition, right? But at the end of the day, it's still kind of like with WWF. There's heroes and heels, and then there's these arcs of retribution. And now we're kind of seeing the rise of Nick Fuentes, which is weird because he was such an underground figure. I used to watch him. I always watch Nick Fuentes clips. I don't know where he streams or whatever. But he's bigger now than he ever was. So they're now bringing him up. But he's also heroes and heels. No, heroes and heels. But a guy like him, you know, if things are real, his brakes will fail. That's how you know things are real. But why I don't think things are real is because the ultimate reason I wanted Trump to win is the great test. Same reason I wanted Pierre Poilievre to win in Canada, because these people that come up with these massive change policies that adhere to all the plebs and normies like you and I, like we want this. Oh, is that what you want? Okay, I'm going to do it. The big test was whether they come in and do anything, right? And yeah, has it been long enough? Maybe not, but it seems like it's just business as usual with a little bit of a flavor change, a cast change. They seem a little real. They have their propaganda arm of what they want, you know, with the new and upcoming streamers, the Candace Owens, the Charlie Kirks, the Tucker Carlsons, now the Nick Fuentes, the Andrew Tate. They all have their part in this new propaganda machine because it's what people are watching, right? So why would anybody watch This is NBC with Tom Brokaw? Those are all the boomers. Nobody's watching that anymore for good reason. Why would I? It's just the ultimate Project Mockingbird is that, and they've come out. Now I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but a lot of people don't know that the CIA owned assets within all the news. You know, they were paying journalists, anchormen. All these people were just assets of the CIA. And now that probably blows most people's minds. But I mean, you know it, we know it. It's normal here. You can see here on the 4-hour chart, we did get up and over, had a little bit of resistance at the 23.6% fib, got up and over, came back, retested it. Now we are over the 20 moving average. But again, we're not really doing anything. Not really doing anything. We're, until I guess the next thing to talk about would be all-time highs, whether that comes in or not, whether we see it. That's the next thing to talk about, because outside of that, and I guess the target for that is this cup and handle of 125. That will be somewhat exciting. It won't be front page media or anything. Let's see how far this old channel of ascension goes to. If I can not screw it up. More. Farther. I remember when this was the one we didn't want to hit way back when, and now we hit it. So where does that go? To go back into this would be up in the 130s. So you can see it would make sense to get in there to get a little bit of resistance at this 130, 120, obviously 129, 130, big psychological numbers that are going to have pushback. But, one of the reasons why I think it's a captured market now too is that, everyone says, oh, it's short, it's paper hands selling. Dummies aren't watching the news, seeing a CPI report and selling, or dummies aren't watching the news and hearing something about war somewhere and selling. Most of the retail are locked in. That's why when I say the retail hasn't come back in, they're already here. They're just locked in. They're just waiting, right? So the fact that the price even goes up and down, I guess are bots. Maybe they're bots just coming in and doing their thing. I would say this is for sure deserves a channel of, well, this would be the bull flags. We are currently busting out of it. We'll go back down here. Yeah, there we go. Currently busting out of it, which is bullish. I mean, if we want to. Haas, how did you get that video of me? Yeah, you're the Chad. He wasn't Chad enough. Oh, you're the guy sleeping. Yeah. Well, that's just indicative of how boring the market is, right? We are broken out of this bull flag. Now, if we want to, get extra hella bullish, let's move this. This is a steep one. Whoa, This one plays out to 132, which was like where the other one plays out to in the 4-hour chart. So there's confirmation there, confluence of events up at that level. But it almost seems we all knew 100K was possible. We all knew 110, 120. Once we get up to 130, 140, it will arguably be more stressful because we're also looking at the possibility of the top, right? We're all looking for the top now. So as far as I'm concerned, I will think the top is October, November, just like every other cycle. And I'll expect a pullback in September. Let's see what this could have. It's just so we have it. I would think that the next month we could see maybe up to 130, right around here. Put this up here. And then the pullback in September would probably be down back to here, the 117, and then we blast off again. I could see that happening in a traditional market. Now, are we in a traditional market? We'll see. We'll see. It's hard for me to tell anymore. I don't know about you, but the way the price action has worked this bull run has thrown me off, because the traditional movements are not there. The traditional fundamentals, good or bad, don't make sense. You know what I mean? Like with all this money coming in, it's either so papered over that it's beyond, saving. It's just so papered over. Or we're about to see the biggest bounce we've ever seen in our whole life.
Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video.